So you were not
that was it.
appealing, you were not doing any other
I've
thing.
never appealed. I've never done anything. I've never. But it was 7 years, dot. I could not believe. I could not believe. I thought maybe these people are joking because most of the time, when it's time for you to go out, maybe you stay there maybe for a month. They say okay, maybe in June they'll tell you that in August we are going home. But to me, they told me, now take your things and go home. I was
Um,
like, really? They said the car is waiting outside to
that you
escort
didn't even
you
sleep
home.
in prison that day.
I've never even slept in prison that day.
That very day. So Nokuthula, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, awesome, man. So we just said, you know what, let's bring you back quickly.
Okay.
This thing is it's still hot. This story is still hot. So let's bring you back quickly. So that
Okay. To
we get
finish
things
up.
going, we get to finish
Yeah.
up. But thank you very
Yeah.
much, for saying yes, for agreeing to come here to just share your story and your journey so far. So man, we don't take that for granted. Really, really appreciate you for that. And
Yeah.
I know many
Entrepreneur
people's
chat. Yes.
lives.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Entrepreneur chat. I'm saying entrepreneur chat is our home.
No, no, we thank God, right? And the good thing is, I think where your story is really powerful is just that, everything is connected at the end of the day, right? Everything is
Yeah.
connected.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
one might not get into your situation, but there's always things that will always be resembling. We always face challenges, in this life. We
Yes.
always do make
Yes.
mistakes. We always do whatever. And the things are
Yeah.
just the same. We need hope, man. We need hope. We need
Yes.
somewhere to look at. We need purpose, all these things.
Yes.
So
That's
that's why,
correct.
it's very important, for us to be having this discussion, with you today. So anyway, my sister, I think let's continue. So now part one, what we talked about on Thursday, it's on YouTube now. So I managed
Yeah.
to upload
Okay.
it on YouTube, send the links and all these things. So guys, I'm going to post the links to the WhatsApp group, Success Inspiration. The link is in the bio. I'm going to post the YouTube link there for that after the session. So please join the group. You don't have to worry about admins posting because, a lot of people posting because only admins can post. So going to my link tree, the links is in the bio. So yes, my sister. So the last time, the last conversation that we had is that you basically we finished up whereby I think you were transferred to the Eastern Cape, right?
Yes.
So you're
I was
transferred to
transferred
the
to the
Eastern
Eastern
Cape
Cape.
prison. Actually, you're on
Yes.
your way out of there, right? You're
Yeah.
actually on your way out of there. I think that's where we left off. So what's
Okay.
happening there? So what were your last days like there at that prison?
Hey, my last days. Okay, to start up with, I will say the greatest revival happened in that prison. Almost
Mm.
90 to 95% accepted Christ, and many of them, about 12 of them, they studied theology, so they became pastors. But
Wow.
again, there were still, yeah, in a prison, imagine. But there were still those who were like instigating, hey, this woman, hey, how come she just comes here and possess the land? Everywhere Satan, likes to put his own people to mix up with God's things or God's purpose. But yeah, at the end of the day, God's will prevail. Because what happened? I heard that they were like caucusing that I came because, mind you, you remember that whilst this USB was put in municipality, what happened? So many people there by the municipality were chased away from work, or they were
Mm.
suspended. So what I
Mm,
did, I became a state witness. So there's those people who were unlawfully or unjustly suspended will come back to work. So I decided to be a state witness to clarify everything and point those who were involved in the syndicate.
mm.
Other
Wow.
people were Other people saw they were clapping hands for that, but there were those who were said, "Oh, now we are a sellout." You see how these things work. Other people, if you're doing right, they don't like you.
wow. So when you're in prison, so they knew at that time that you are a state witness.
Yes, they
So they
knew that I was a state witness
so
because I
those are
had
so those prisoners will be like, why are you doing that?
Yes, why are you doing that? Because you are sentenced already. But in my heart of heart, I was feeling for those people who were suspended, yet they did not do anything. Only their past words that were used. So no, I was not relaxing. My soul was crying for them. I decided, let me just do the right thing. Let me go in front. Even if I'm sentenced already, they're not gonna reduce my sentence, but let me do the correct thing because many people were suspended because their password were used.
Wow. Also, because their passwords are used, because I mean, like you guys had actually hacked and were using their
Hacked,
syndicate.
yes,
So now
yeah.
their passwords. So it means that when the municipality looks at it, they're just like, but this is your password. You are the one who has
This
used
is your
this.
password. Okay, now we are suspending you because this is your password. So much amount came out, your password was used there. So you see how unfairly what was.
Mm.
So I
So
was like,
wow. So now at that time, is like do you feel like your life is in danger, or are there any
it
threats
was,
against
it
you?
was, yeah,
Mm,
it was in danger. I was like receiving threats because, mind you, these people who were involved in the municipality were not arrested because
mm,
there were two culprits who were there, but they were not arrested because their password were not used during the syndicate, during the project. I don't know if you understand that.
yeah. So they were inside people.
Yeah, yeah. There were two inside people, but their password were not used during the project of hacking the municipalities. Other people's passwords were used. So they were clean. They were continuing at work as if nothing happened. Now I had to break the ice and tell them that no, these people did one, two, and three.
So how do they manage to sort of actually threaten you when you're in jail? What do they do to get to you?
You know what? God forbid if maybe it just my thinking. I think because it was in the Eastern Cape and these people were from the Eastern Cape, they managed to maybe to connect with people inside prison
Mm,
so that
wow.
they could ill-treat me. That's
Mm,
what
mm,
I
mm.
thought, yes. But yeah,
Wow.
fortunately, one of the members here overheard that and they phoned commercial court. They told them that now I was on danger. So the commercial court just grant them the mandate that I must be put on isolation and they must make sure that I'm 100% safe. So they vacated everything and every inmate, and I was put on a safe place before I went to KZN.
So now so they had to put you in isolation.
They had to put me in isolation. When I went to dish, there had to be a policewoman or a warder to escort me on daily basis for like 2 to 3 months before I was taken to KZN.
So they were waiting for the case to finish. So once you're
They're
done, then
waiting.
you would leave.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Once I'm
Sure.
done,
So
then yeah.
so how was it though, like in isolation though? I mean, you're just alone there.
You know what? To me, I was saying, you know what, Lord, you created that space for me so that I become even more closer to you. Because every time, man, I become optimistic. So, okay, God, it's your will that I'm here. What are we saying? Talk to me. So everything works for good for those who love God and who have been called by his purpose. I like that scripture in Romans 8, verse 28. So I said, Lord, you want me alone. You want me and you alone. So I just want to hear you talking to me. That's why I wrote books in prison, because I even had much time alone with God.
Wow. So also you actually were writing the books there in isolation.
Yes, yes, I was writing the book. The book that says From Pit to Palace, I wrote it whilst I was in isolation.
Wow. So what then happens to the people? So you're no longer going to church then?
I was no longer going to church. I was with God 24 hours, being escorted. They were even calling me president. Oh, here president comes, because I was having escort wherever I go.
Oh, those are the inmates saying, "Here, the president is
Yeah,
coming."
yeah,
That's crazy.
you
But
know.
man, uh
Yeah, but yeah, I was like, Lord, everything that happens to me, I know it's your will. It's in your will. It's okay. But eventually, after 3 months, after finished everything, then I was escorted to KZN then.
okay, wow. So now that was like, so now in KZN. So how many did you spend, like a year or so in Eastern Cape, or just months?
Eastern Cape, I spent 3.5 years.
3.5
And
years.
remember, yes, and remember, I had a covenant with God that I will stay only 7 years in prison. So now I was in
Yes.
Westville. Westville, I stayed there 1.5 years.
Okay, so
So
so so wait. So now, so you are, so they just take it step by step. So you
yeah,
finished the so you finished
yeah,
the Eastern Cape, the trial is done. That other
yes,
boss who wanted you out, she was still in isolation as well.
yes. She was in isolation. When I left, she was in isolation.
Oh
But
wow.
again, lucky thing, eventually she accepted Christ. She called me, she apologized, and she accepted Christ.
She called you a.
She called me. She was in isolation. Ne? Before I went to isolation, she accepted Christ, and she called me and apologized for everything that she did to me.
Sure. Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing. That's
yeah,
amazing. Wow.
yeah.
So now you leave the Eastern Cape. You say you go to Westville.
Yes, I'm going to Westville now. Even in
Why are they?
Westville,
Why did they take you to Westville?
no, it's because I was finished. The case was finished. So this testifying thing was finished.
But why Westville though? That's why I'm just asking. Or do they just choose randomly? What do they do? Or they want you in another
Uh,
province because you're in danger in Eastern Cape? How does it work?
no, but since my home is in KZN, so I think that's why. But yeah, according to God's plan, I knew exactly He wanted me to be in Westville.
Okay. So you go to
Yeah.
Westville. Which year
Yeah.
is that?
It was 2000 and because I came to Eastern Cape on 2014, 15, 16, 2017. 2017.
Mm,
I
mm.
stayed in Westville.
Okay. So now,
Yeah.
so you're going to Westville. That's after 3.5 years in the system. But
Yes.
on the books, you're still left with 36.4 years on the
Yes.
books. On the books.
On the books.
I know
Yes,
what
on the
you have talked
books.
about with God, but on the books, you're still left
On the books, it
with
was like that. Yes.
on the
Yeah,
books,
on the
you're
book.
still left with 36 years, 36.5.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, cool. Then what happens? You go to Westville. How is Westville? First day you get there. So how do they transport you? How do they transport you from the Eastern Cape?
Okay, it was a small car. It's only Eastern Cape that transports you with these small cars. The other prisons, they just put you on a van. But in Eastern Cape, no, they are using these small cars. So they just transported me. The two others accompanied me. You know, the journey was so amazing. I remember Mam Ngingane and Mam Makungu. You know, the trip was so amazing. I was in favor of them. I don't want to tell lies. Even in prison, because there I was ahead of the prisoners. I was the head of the
Really?
prisoners. Yes.
Okay, no, tell us you go there. So first day the trip is good. You arrive
Yeah.
there. What happens? What happens?
Okay. Firstly, on the first day, I slept in the reception. The following day, okay, they sent me to a two section, a female section. When I came there, oh, okay, everybody is like, okay, I wonder who's this lady who have come, who've joined us, you know? Yeah, then I've joined them. It was nice. And in Westville, it was different because in Eastern Cape, there were like commune cells. But in Westville, it's single cells. So you are only two or three per room. So that was the
Okay.
difference. Yeah,
So you
that was
didn't,
the
there was
difference.
no, so that side there was no Marabastad,
There,
Chinatown,
there was no rubber start there.
China Mall.
No, there is no China City there.
so
Yeah,
so
so
there was no uh-huh.
Westville was so organized. I don't want to tell lies. It was so organized, and I felt at home. Remember, wow, I'm at home now. I thought everything because I'm home, it will be okay.
So
Yay!
tell me. Before we go there, so there was no interview this time. There was no interview.
Oh, there were interviews again.
Yeah.
But again,
Mm-hmm.
since it's like you are sleeping two, I remember I was sleeping with another woman, Tandy. So yeah, she was also a Christian. So yeah, it's only when you go to dish then they greet you. And why are you here? Everybody man in prison like news. I can tell. Everybody want to know what is happening with you. Why are you here? Why are you new? Are you newly sentenced or what? You know? Yeah, everybody
Mm.
nje becomes so curious to know about your story, but it's part of the journey because I mean you are confined, you are in one place and there's nothing that you see outside the world. So yeah, you better inside to yeah, that's
Also, it's
what
also
is.
part of hearing some news from outside and like you're
Yeah,
connected to what's happening outside.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, so in your cells, like how long do you spend there?
I spent 1.5 years in
No, I'm
Westville.
saying like in the cells in like this because I mean then you go to eat, right? Like so you only meet the other inmates when you're going to eat.
Yes, when you go to it. Or there
So
is every day we are having an hour that they open the open space where you go there and mingle with each other.
mhm.
So every day, because mind you, this is maximum. It's not always open. We are
Mm.
high risk. We are high risk. It's not always open. Yeah,
Sure, sure, sure.
only when you go to school or yeah, when you go to
Mm.
attend. Yeah,
Okay, so you are in your room most of the time in your cell. You just go
yeah.
to eat.
Me
How many times do you go to
myself.
eat? How many times do you go to eat?
You know what? We wake up at 4 in the morning and pray every
Mm,
day. We wake up and pray, and at 6 o'clock we go for breakfast. At 11 o'clock we go for lunch. 2:30 you go for dinner. After that there is no food.
mm.
2:30 it's dinner time.
Wow.
Imagine
Sure.
2:30. If you don't
Then yeah.
have any snack, anything, I'm telling you, prison can kill you. I can hear
Wow.
people telling, hey, prison is a hotel. Hey, there's no hotel there. Hey, there is no hotel there.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Prison is
Wow.
difficult.
Mm,
Imagine at half
mm,
past
mm.
two, you are being locked out. You are being locked down. I remember whilst there was Corona, because when I came out, it was a Corona time. People were crying for a 1 month shutdown. People were crying. I was like, hey, yeah. People felt prison that time. Prison is like that because we are
Oh,
inside.
because there were no visitors.
No, visitors comes only weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and it's only an hour.
No. So what I'm saying is, why was the shutdown so painful? Like that 1 month
No,
had lockdown, right?
no, I'm saying people outside because I was still inside then. I came out
Mm.
2020, but people were crying during shutdown because they experienced how it is to be locked in the room,
In their own
So
houses. But this is what
yeah,
you have
in their
been
own
living like.
houses. Yes, this is how you
But
live like.
prisoners, they deal with that every day.
Every day. If you're sentenced for lifetime imprisonment, so it means you are inside locked up every day, 2:30. That's a punishment enough. That's a
Sure.
punishment enough.
So what do you do? So when the food, so you said they finish at 2:30, or the dinner is at 2:30?
Yeah, the dinner is 2:30.
Until what time?
When you finish 3:30, it's locked. Locked.
So you
Everybody,
go in
you
there in your
parade.
cells and you do what?
It depends to each and every individual. Since I was writing books, I spent a lot of my time reading my Bible and writing books. Yeah,
Wow,
that's
man,
what
that's
I was doing. Because really, if you're not doing anything, that's what other people they come back mad. Because really, if you
mm,
don't do anything, just lock up, you don't do anything, really you can become mad. On a serious
I
note,
can.
yeah. So, yeah, I spent my time having intimacy with God, reading my Bible from Genesis to Revelation, my everyday thinking, and I miss that. I miss my time with God in prison because, yeah, there is no interruption. You just sit there with God, you read the Bible, you listening to God. That's what I miss in prison, to just to be there with God, in spite, irregardless of noise or whatsoever. But I really enjoyed that time.
Wow. So then so you're in Westville there. So okay, so you said that you thought that everything was okay because you're home now. What happened? Not everything wasn't okay.
So there was a scenario where the other lady hit me in Westville for praying.
Sure.
I'm telling you, not like a clap. I'm meaning hitting me,
Like,
bumping my head on a griller, bumping my head. I was like, Lord, this is a test. May I pass this test? You know what
sure.
I did?
Mm,
Nothing.
mm.
It took almost 45 minutes beating me in front of other people.
Wow. So this person, so are they just hit you, and where were you going? Where were you at that time?
I was going to prayer. Mind you, it was in the morning, going to a morning prayer.
Mm.
And
So
then
what?
she
So this
just,
prayer, where would you guys pray? What were you like, meeting with other prisoners?
because we maybe we are 20 of us, two to each cell, ne? So the
Mm,
other section, there are 25, two in each cell. But there is a biggest door that is separating us. The other section has got their own gate, we got our own gate. So we come out of our room and stand by those bucklers. And the other section will stand by the bucklers. Then we'll pray, we'll open the scriptures, we'll sing and pray together.
mm.
Yeah.
Wow. So this woman then hits you there.
She hit me. She hit me. I did not say anything. And the prison wanted to arrest her because she was sentenced for murder, ne? and she was sentenced for life and 15 years. So they wanted to open a case. I said, no, I forgive her. I forgive her because I know exactly it was not her. It was the spirit in her. So I forgave her. Even in the morning, I greeted her. And the other Christians were so angry. How come are you talking to her? She was hitting you yesterday. I said, but Lord said we must forgive
But
one
how come they
another.
didn't? How come they didn't stop her?
They were
Those other
afraid.
Christians.
Hey,
Mm. Wow.
they
Wow.
were afraid.
Awesome. So now, so this woman assaults you. So it's an assault. That's what it is.
It's an assault. Yes, they charge her for assault. But I
Mm.
asked them to drop charges.
Mm. All right,
Yeah.
Liron. Nokuthula had been imprisoned for fraud, right? For fraud, of one of the municipalities, namely the West. It's that's on Mandela Bay, ne?
Yes, Nelson
Yeah.
Mandela
So
Bay.
that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
You were Westview for 1.5 years.
Yes.
Then where did you go after Westview?
After Westville, I went to Fryhead.
Fryhead.
Yes.
Why did they send you to Fryhead? Do they give you any notice, or they just say, what do they say?
No, they did not give me any notice. They said,
Wow.
now you have to go to Fryhead. Westville is full now. Yeah. So we are trying to put other people to other prisons. So that's what happened. They just transferred
Okay.
me. Yeah.
Okay. So it's just, so that's what I was just trying to find out.
Yeah.
So their reason to you was just it's full.
Yeah, it's full. So other prisoners were transferred with like shorter sentences because, mind you, I was maximum and now I was medium because I was already served 5 years. So now I qualify to go to medium section. You
Oh, so
remember I was
they
in
also
maximum.
review. So they also
Your
review like
sentence.
your behavior and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. They review your behavior
Okay.
and stuff. Yeah.
All right. So was Fryhead a medium?
Yes, Fryhead
Okay.
was a medium. It was a small prison. There is no there is no one who's sentenced
High
maybe
risk.
for
Mm.
15 years. Yeah, there it's only like 50, only like 5 years, 7 years, and all these serious crimes they are transfer them to Westville, but those with less, I will say, not serious crimes are kept in Fryhead. But those with serious crimes, they will be escorted to Westville
Wow. So
and serve
so
their sentence there.
wow. So how was Fryhead? What your first day there? How does it go?
Oh, okay. Before I went to Fryhead, I'll finish this thing for Westville.
Mm.
What happened? This lady, what happened to her? I don't want to say God fight, but God fight for his people. I don't want to tell lies. God fight. And you remember that woman who beat me?
Mm.
Af- you know what? I forgave her with all my heart because it was not her. Within a week, it was so painful because his child was stabbed. It was so painful.
Sure.
And after a short period of time, his husband passed away. So the members called me and said, hey, no, we are afraid. Your God, look what is happening now. They called her and said, you know what, you see what is happening. We have to apologize to Nokuthula because his God is fighting now. You see, within short period of time, this thing is happening. And they asked her, what was happening? Why did you hit her? She said, I don't know. Something came in my ear saying I must beat her.
Sure. So now also her son and husband were outside of prison. They just
Outside. That thing teaches us God fight for us. It's painful because we pray and we not return evil for evil, but God see the intentions,
mm.
whether
So
you are pure or what.
okay. So now the members were saying were they the members of her gang? When you
Yes, the
say the
members.
members,
Yes, yes, the
also she was part
members.
of a gang.
She was part of a gang, yeah. So the members called her and told her, "You see what is
Oh,
happening? The
so
things now are
so
upside
when
down."
they're assaulting you, like they're also their gang members are there. That's why the other people cannot come
Yes,
and help.
yes, yes,
No, it makes sense.
yes.
No, it makes
Yeah,
sense. Yeah, wow,
yeah.
shame, man. So okay. So what then happens after that? Is that when you're then sent to Fried?
No, I went to Freiheit. It was so nice. There, it was the smallest prison, okay, with few ladies there. It was nice. We started praying. It was so nice. But again, each and everything, each and every prison, it has got own in its own devil worshippers. I don't want to tell lies. Even
Sure.
in Freiheit, there was a lady, we were praying with her. And I'm not afraid to talk about her because we even wrote a book together. She's free. Yeah, we wrote a book together. Whilst I was praying every day, I will dream of her become a snake, her face become a snake. And I called
Mm,
her, I told her, you know what, every time when I'm praying, I see you, but you become a snake. Your face and the tail become a snake. What is happening? She said to me, no, 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 I don't know what is happening. We are praying with her, praying with her. On the other day, I was on the other room. You know, in prison, there is something called a master key. When you are locked down, you are locked. Even if we are sick, it can take like 3 to 4 hours to reach that master key. As other
mm,
people, they die in cells because the master key is not kept in prison, you know. So she was staying on the other cell, and I was staying on the other cell. She was staying in cell 5, there were 15 there, 15 or plus, and I was staying in cell 1, we were 5. At night after praying, because we used to have prayers like 40 days prayers, 50 days prayer, each and every 3 hours we prayed 3, 6, 9, 12, 12 in midnight, 3 in the morning, 6 every 3 hours, you know, praying for different things. You know, at 9, I slept. After we prayed, then I slept. I don't know if you'll understand. There is this thing called trance. You are half awake, half asleep.
mm.
I saw her coming to the cell. It was at night, locked. Everybody was locked. I saw her coming to my cell and strangling me. She was
Sure.
with another woman. And you know, I tried to wake up, but I did not have power. I just called the name Jesus, and then I waked up. And when I waked up, it was this thing was happening. I could see it was happening. Even on my neck, it was painful. It was real. You know, I knocked for
Mm,
the member who was there that day. I said, Mama, Mama, please open for cell 5. Tell them to wake up. All of them, they must pray because this woman is here now. There is thing that is called astral projection, whereby somebody is using his soul to go and do devil's agenda. That is why there's so many accidents, because Satan is behind all those accidents. They go with their spiritual bodies, you know.
mm.
So that's what happened here with this woman. You know, that warden went to cell 5 and told them to wake up and pray. They prayed, and in our cell we prayed. In the morning, God told me, you must go to the unit manager and go to that cell and ask that woman to give you a code. She's communicating with Satan. She's a devil worshiper. You know, other things. I don't want to tell lies. They look like this is just a fake or false or fairy tale whatsoever. But I went to the
Mm.
member. She agreed. We went there, we prayed. And you know, I hold her hand because I don't wanted it to be a show. You see, it was me and her. I knew what God told me, so I wanted it to be like it's a show. Then, whilst the inmates were singing, I just went to her. First, I was afraid. I was like, Lord, how can I go and tell somebody that she's a devil worshiper? And the Lord said, remember, we're having a covenant. You told me you're gonna work for me. And
Mm.
remember, you said you're going to be obedient to my word. It's me who's telling you to go there. I went there. When I went there, I held her arms and I looked her straight in her eyes. I prayed for her, calling the name of Jesus. Immediately, her eyes turned red
Sure.
instantly, and she looked at me. You know, she did not deny it. She said, I'm not the only one who's a devil worshiper. But I said,
Mm,
but Lord loves you. That's why he sent me to you. He said,
mm,
you have the code. You are communicating with the devil. You know
mm,
what she did? He
mm.
just took my hand. We went to the bathroom. She showed me the code, 777 code. She said, you know what, my sister, God is using you. In fact, I had 4 code. They cached it outside whilst I was outside. When there are churches, I go to tent to crusaders and make those tents to fall down. I don't know how many accidents did I cause. More than 2,000. I am a queen of the devil. I sit next to the devil. We are having assignment every day to go to Christians
Mm.
to make their houses to break. We are assigned. When everybody has assigned and didn't carry the order, Satan sends me because I've never ever failed the assignment. Here in prison, I'm not arrested, but I've come to do the assignment, and you were the first person to be killed. After that, once I killed you, I she had a list. The list was long. The head of center, because she prays, the other member, the other inmates, these things are happening. They are there, even to
Sure.
break up houses. She was even saying, even your
Are you
sister,
saying, when you're saying to break up houses, are you saying marriages? Or...
marriages, I'm telling you, there are devil worshippers who break up marriages. Even at church, she was saying, we are even assigned to go to church. We are tirelessly following that church. We are tirelessly following that pastor whom we are assigned to, and pretend as if we are accepting Jesus. Yet we know we are not come to accept Jesus. We come to destroy.
Like,
So, yeah.
so now you're done so you have this encounter with this lady. Then what else then
Yes.
happens now, like in Fryhead now? Are you then transferred again, or what other stuff happening?
No, no, no. In Fryhead, I stayed there. You remember, I was left with only 2 years.
Between you
So
and God,
yeah,
but on the
yeah,
books, how many were there?
yeah. It was 33 years, 33 years, 32 years. Yes. So
Okay.
yeah, it was nice. We're praying, we're fasting. Yeah, everything went well until the seventh year of
Mm,
promise. I
mm.
knew God promised that in seventh year. And I was telling them, I was
You were
telling
telling
them,
them, and
I
what were
was
they
telling
saying?
them.
What were you saying?
Yeah, it's only few who believed. Many, I would think 98, they were saying, I think I'm crazy. Do you think we can talk to God? There will be no way. You fail to talk to God whilst we're outside. And we are now in prison. We are sentenced.
But
You are
those people are
crazy.
crazy. I tell that when you fail to talk to God outside, now you can talk to God inside. Wow.
They fail to know that God is omnipresent, He's omnipotent, He's everywhere,
Mm,
everywhere, all the time. Yeah, so I used to get those negative thought thing, those negative responses from people, but I had faith in God. My faith was never shaken by intimidation, but I was believing in God. And I was telling God that, you know what? If you fail me, you are failing yourself, because people will think it's because now you don't have power. You don't have power. So
mm,
me now, I just rely on your word. I just rely on your promises, nothing else. I'm relying on your
mm.
promises, nothing else. So the seventh
Wow.
year came. God told me before I went out, I will go and stay in cell number 7. There I went to stay in cell number 7. I knew I was about to go. I didn't
Okay, so
know
how did
how.
you how did you move? How did you move to cell number 7?
The other member just called me. It was in the afternoon. I was just sitting.
So when you
She
say
just
member
called
here, are
me.
you saying the inmates or
The member, the warden.
the warden? Huh?
Yeah, she just called me. Nokuthula, take your things and go to cell 7. Just like that. God can send anyone. Just like
Mm.
that. I was just sitting, waiting to
Mm.
sleep in that cell where I was staying, I was allocated to, and she just called me and said, Nokuthula, now go to cell 7. Just like that. Just like that.
Wow. So you go to cell
Yeah.
7.
I went to cell 7. And when I went to cell 7, I told them, guys, I'm leaving. Believe you me. Now I'm about to go. I
Mm.
stayed in cell 7. It was nice. And mind you, to all this prison, I was doing courses. I collected 16 certificates.
Wow.
Yeah, I obtained 16 certificates.
What sort of
But in
certificates are they?
I did 3 years in theology.
Mm-hmm.
I did fraud and theft. I did anger management. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Or a better what? I can't remember. There are so many, man. The other certificate I did is a better self. There's a certificate called a better self, called Crossroad, called Image. The sort of certificate I accumulated there, and most of them, maybe 7 of them, are spiritual, and the other ones is just yeah, and the skills also. I had a certificate to make carpets. You
Wow.
know, yeah. So
Wow.
I was
Okay.
taking and yeah. So yeah, where we are now.
We're in cell 7.
Yeah, I'm in cell 7. Cell 7 was so nice. We prayed because each and every cell where I entered the cell, we used to start praying. Yeah, that's what I did. It was nice. And I was so sure I'm going. I didn't know how it was gonna happen because I didn't do an appeal, but I was so sure that I'm going. There the other day comes because I was dishing for the inmates. Well, when we are dishing for the inmates, you don't go off. We are working in the morning, during the day, and in the afternoon to dish for the inmates. There is no day off. And I was a teacher. I was doing Zulu and business studies.
Mm.
So I used to teach the inmates Zulu and business studies. Hey, you know, the other lady come to me. She came to me and said, Nokuthula, I left you something. I said, what did you left for me? She was sometimes cooking for the members, rotis and stuff. She was an Indian. She said,
Oh wow.
okay, bring me your lunch box. I said, okay, thank you. I'll bring my lunch box. Okay, I gave it to her. In the afternoon, she said to me, hey, you know what, Nokuthula, you must go and take your lunch box. I make you a lunch. I was like, this woman, because I know she don't like me so much, but okay. I was like, oh God, thank you. It means you worked to her heart, and now she's okay with me. Okay. I took the lunch box. I went with it to my cell. I went to the bathroom. Whilst I was in the bathroom, it was about it was like in the afternoon. They were about to close. The prison was way about to close, to be closed. I heard the members calling me, Nokuthula, Nokuthula, come. I came. They said it's a searching in your cell. I'm like, searching in my cell? What happened? They said a member lost her roti and mincemeat. Hey. I'm telling you. And I was like, in my heart, hey, this woman, it means she took members' food and dished it to me. Everything
Like
happened
warden.
so. The wardens, everything happened so
She took the
fast.
warden's food.
Yes, and gave it to me and went to the wardens and told them to go and search in my room because I stole wardens' food.
Sure.
I'm
Then
telling
what
you.
happens?
They came to the cell. They said, we are searching. They search. They okay. My lunchbox was on top of the bed, and they opened it. Here, this roaches and means it's here in my lunchbox. And they said, oh, you are a thief. We didn't know that you are a thief. We thought you were a Christian, and look now, you stole our roti and means. I said, no.
Imagine roti. That's how I said you stole my pie.
They said, no, yo. I said, man, no, I didn't. It's this lady who gave it to me. They called her. Did you give it to her? She said, no, she's a liar. I never gave her anything. I'm like, hey, Lord, what is this now? They chased me away from Cell 7. Hey, they put me with this lady. When I came to the cell, everybody was laughing. You were mocking me. Oh, you think you are a Christian? Look now. Your dirty things have been revealed. You are
Exposed.
a thief. You stole members' food. I was crying tears. I don't want to tell lies. It was so painful. I knew deep in my heart somebody gave it to me. And that woman now is denying everything. Now it's me who stole. But I went to the members. I said, Ma'am, I've been working with you for all these years. I've never stole even one thing. You even put your cheese, your egg. When you often come back, you find your thing as it is. I've never taken anything from you. It's this woman who gave it to me. They said, we don't know. But we found thing in your bed. I've never cried like that before. Everybody's mocking. Only few Christians, they were coming, they were comforting me. Sorry, my sister. When you're a Christian, people will lie about you. But I was crying, Lord, why are you allowing this thing to me? Look now, my reputation. Look, my name. People will think I'm a thief. I'm not a thief. I took a 3 days fasting. I took a 3 days fasting, crying to the Lord. You know what the Lord said? She said, it's because we are about to go out. You must be vigilant. You are too trusting. You cannot go out with this heart of yours. You are too trusting. You trust everyone. Imagine, because you're going out, somebody will come and say, God said like this, somebody will come and give you a TV, a plasma, and told you it's 1,000 rand, you'll buy it. After some time, you'll get that you are being arrested because they killed the owner of the TV and come with the TV and sell it to you. You must scrutinize everything. You are too trusting. I repented. I said, Lord, yeah, I'm too trusting. It means each and everything, if it comes, I must scrutinize. Really, each and everything I must scrutinize. You won't believe in that week. That's when I was called by the parole board, and they told me that, we've been looking at your file from day one you came to prison. You maintain your A group. When you come to prison, they put you in B group. So if your behavior is good, they put you in A group. But when your behavior is worse, they put you in C group. So they take other privileges. And if you become worse, they put you even in D group. So you lose most of the privileges there. But since I came to prison, I was in A. After 6 months, they put me in A. I was in A till that 7th year. I was in A. So they said, we've been checking your file. You've been preaching in prison. You've been teaching in prison. You attended school. All the courses, you've done them. So now we see no reason not to allow you to go home. The president have gave amnesty for all those people who are behaving so well. We've been checking. We've never find not even anything that will allow us not to giving you a permission to go home. I was so happy. There's nothing so precious and good like an inmate going home. And more than anything, to know that God is faithful, that's what makes me cry and trust God even more, that God is talking and God is real and God is a covenant keeper.
So are you
That's
saying the
how
parole
I
board
feel.
just called you out of nowhere?
Out of nowhere, they called me. They told me that the president has gave the amnesty for everybody whose behavior are so well and who are well behaved. And yeah, that was it.
So,
Nothing
so
else.
you were not
That was it.
appealing, you were not doing any other
I've
thing.
never appealed. I've never done anything. I've never. But it was 7 years, dot. The way God is so faithful.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So now when
Yeah,
the
God.
parole board tells you this, so in that meeting, it's not a meeting to say, can you tell us why you should be paroled? It's not a meeting
No,
for
no,
that.
no,
It's just a meeting to
no.
tell you this. So this is the first time you go
That
there.
this is what happened. You are going home. You know, I could not believe. I could not believe. I thought maybe these people are joking because most of the time, when it's time for you to go out, maybe you stay there maybe for a month. They say okay, maybe in June they'll tell you that in August we are going home. But to me, they told me now take your things and go home. I was
Ah,
like, really? They said the car is waiting outside to
that you
escort
didn't even
you
sleep
home.
in prison that day.
I've never even slept in prison that day.
That very day.
That very day I went, it was on the 30th of May 2020. He is a covenant keeping God. He is so faithful. I'm
Mm.
telling you. Yeah. So yeah, I realized that when you rely on God, He is faithful, and when you stay with Him, even when you stay down, you rise. You rise. I was
Wow.
telling God, you know what? You are so faithful. That's how I went out. And when I went outside, I said, I will never go back. Satan, you tried to use me, not anymore. I will never fall again. I'll rise up.
Mm. So you're telling me that so you don't even have, so when they say you should go, so what, do you even see the other inmates? Do you say goodbye to
You
anyone?
know, hey, everybody was so excited for me. I'm telling you. Ooh, we saw that you are really a Christian. Your God. How? Yesterday, you were telling me that when you are a faith Christian, we are stealing members' food. And today, you saw that I'm a real Christian.
Sure. So also that incident of being accused of stealing members, or it's not something that can be reported onto your record or whatever it is.
No, no, no,
It's
no,
just like
no.
a misdemeanor sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was not something that was
Mm.
recorded. And
So when
everybody
they
was
chased you from,
happy.
mm,
Yeah, everybody was
even the member
happy.
was happy.
Even the man, even the member, we are even phoning each other even now. And you know what? Because the member whom they stole the means to, she was my favorite. She was my favorite. I loved her so much. I was like, Mom, you know me. But how come you know me? But in one incident, you think I'm capable of doing this, But we find now, we talk to each other, we laugh about it. It was devil, but man, it didn't win anyway. It didn't win.
Wow.
God it's so it's faithful to us. He's so faithful.
Wow. So you leave that day. Where do you go? Where
Okay,
does
I
this car
went
take you?
home. I went home. I found my dad. My dad was having cancer. It was so painful. When you go out, you don't have even your license. You don't have even your passport. You don't have even your ID. Everything has to start afresh. Once you're in prison, it's easy because you ask, oh, may please put toilet money, they'll put. But when you are outside, now you're outside, you are old enough. Okay, yeah, dust yourself off and start afresh. You can't say, give me this, give me that all the time. You're now facing a reality. Children is going to school every day. They're looking up to you. We are a mother. We have to provide. I said, Lord, I'm here now. Tell me what to do. Because really, I know I've been in prison and I've been working for you. Please tell me what to do now. You know what happened? I called from Ukozi to give a testimony because I don't know, somebody told them that I wrote 4 books in prison. The first book is The Voice of the Most High. The other one is The Purpose. The other one, From Pit to Palace. The other one, Who is the Leader? That one is dedicated to our President Ramaphosa. So Mam Dudu Koza called me at Cause FM. I went there, I gave my testimony. After that, because I left my number, people wanted to help. Okay, how about did you get your publishers? I said yes, I got the publishers. Okay, yeah, they're busy with it, so they're still busy with it. In November, I'm launching, but the first book that is gonna come out is the first one that said Who is the Leader, that is dedicated to our president Ramaphosa. So yeah, the support was so amazing. As much as I'm not somebody who always like to beg and beg and beg, I decided to ask once. There is the the other boy staying in Hammerstay. My mother, when she passed away, she had a taxi, and my brother took over to that business. I asked her, you know what? As I came back, I don't want to go and ask money from you all the time. May you just give me 10,000 so that I'll buy things and sell. Then I bought some things. I sold things. Yeah. After that, the other guy called me. He had a guest house, said, you know what, I want you to come here and manage this guest house. We'll be partnering. Then I went there till 2021. That God called me to do his work, to market this book and to go do some seminars and to encourage those who are heartbroken. I'm going to school because I'm having a ministry in deliverance. In schools, Satan is working with our kids, and nobody cares about that. So I go to school. Children are being delivered. The other school I went to last week, it was Nanda, where the other inmate, I won't divulge the name and the school, but she was saying, I've initiated 105 children from school. They are drinking blood. Every day at night we go and have meetings with Satan. These things are real, guys. These things are real, guys. And now I'm working with Mshengu at Ukozi FM every day at 12 midnight. I'm having word of encouragement. I'm doing prayers with Ukozi. So God is opening doors. God is opening doors. Can change whatever Satan things want to kill with. God can change you, can change it into a triumph, actually, because he thought he was breaking me, but God helped me not to be broken. So I give people hope. I do seminars, yeah.
Awesome, man. Wow, what an amazing story, man. What an amazing story, guys. Please follow Nokuthula here if you want to be in touch with her. Please check out her videos. Please be in touch with her, right? And where else can people reach you? Those who want to reach you.
Okay. In WhatsApp, and I'm having preachings and teachings there. I'm at Nokuthula Dumagute for no, not in WhatsApp. My number is 079 and in TikTok at Nokuthula Dumagute 4 at Nokuthula Dumagude 4.
Because yeah.
Facebook, I've opened a page called Couch with Nokuthula. Couch with Nokuthula. So yeah, I'm giving hope to those who lost hope, and those who think life you cannot start afresh. You can. If I'm from prison and now God is using me for his kingdom, he can use anyone. He can use anyone. We must not
Please.
fall. We must rise. And
Oh, that's so true.
each and everyone has his own past. So our past situations or circumstances must not define our future. And I'm having this organization called Building the Messiah's Kingdom. I'm referring us all as flowers. You are the flower. I am the flower. And God is collecting us with all our past, with all our failures, with all our mistakes. And He is putting us together in a vase. And that's called a bakwe. In every wedding, there is a bakwe. In every wedding. He's developing our character at the end of the day. When Jesus Christ comes, He wants us to be pure and perfect.
No, that's it. That's it. Please repeat your WhatsApp number for those who want to get in. Please, guys, you can get in contact with Nokuthula on WhatsApp. What is the WhatsApp number again?
My WhatsApp number is 079
Mm-hmm.
079
Mm-hmm.
720
Yes.
7657.
Okay, 7207657. I hope you
That's
guys
correct.
got that if you want to be in touch. So I think let's leave this today here.
Thanks
Tula,
so
please
much,
come back when
Nokuthula.
the
Thank you
book
so
is
much.
ready and let's talk
Yes.
about the books.
Yeah.
And we can you can and the guys can get to know and get your books as well.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Guys, let's do this again tomorrow. Please join our WhatsApp group. The link is in the bio because I'm gonna post the link to our video of part 1 of this session that we actually had of Nokuthula's story that we actually had on Thursday is to how she actually ended up, being sentenced to 40 years. Now you have heard how God miraculously took her out. I mean,
Amen.
that was such amazing. Man, we're encouraged. We're encouraged
Amen.
to say, it doesn't matter what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ will redeem you. That's
Yes.
that's basically what we are talking about. But
Yeah.
thank you very much for sharing. Because we go through in life sometimes, you'd go through, as you're saying, the dark places where you don't know how you're going to come out. It seems like it's over. But definitely, guys, this is a testimony whereby, and I think the thing is, sometimes it can even seem as if it's getting worse. That these people
Yeah.
now look at your cell 7. You were saying cell 7. Now you're out of cell
Yeah.
7.
No.
That sign of yours, you were talking that this is the sign. Now look,
Now look what
but
is happening.
look what is happening.
Yeah.
But those are all smokes and mirrors from the devil. But we
Yeah.
thank God for his faithfulness. Cindy Blue, how are you doing? How is Texas, United States? Thank you very much, guys. Please follow these ladies. Join our WhatsApp group. I'm going to post the link to this video now, part 1.
Amen.
And
So,
join our Facebook group, guys, at least as well. The link is in the bio so you can advertise your businesses as well.